I began work with the Breast Cancer Coalition many, many years ago when I had the privilege of serving in the state legislature and worked with Holly and her leadership team, members of the board, and became very passionate about it. But for me, as I think with many people, it becomes much more personal when you have a story that's attached to a family member or a friend. And my daughter, Lauren, was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer when she was 29 years old. And we just observed the 6th anniversary of her passing from the disease. So what became for me an important subject area became now one of the most important things that I do as a legislator.
Every year, the Advocacy Committee of the Breast Cancer Coalition nominates several folks that could be recipients of the Harriet Susskind Rosenblum Advocate Spirit Award. And this award really identifies people who have been there when the coalition needs them. Our advocacy committee is really determined to support legislation that affects those with breast or gynecologic cancer. So currently, we are working on the federal level. It's the Metastatic Breast Cancer Access to Care Act. And that's where Congressman Morelle comes in. He's been a huge supporter of the Metastatic Breast Cancer Access to Care Act.
He served in the Assembly for many years, in the New York State Assembly, and that's where we first came to know him. He was a compassionate ear, great listener, many, many ideas for how we could approach other representatives, other assembly members, other senators, to get our initiatives to the front, make them a priority. We worked on the 48-hour neighbor notification law back when he was in the Assembly. We were successful in getting that passed. It took several years. We worked with him on the medical marijuana piece of legislation. It was passed in the Assembly for 17 years. It made it through.
I want to use my position as a member of the Appropriations Committee to continue to drive dollars to cancer research, both diagnostic and therapeutic, and continue to work on that. But one of the things that's most important to me is the bill that's the Metastatic Breast Cancer Access to Care Act, which essentially eliminates the waiting period that most people with illnesses have to receive Social Security disability. First, I should say how grateful I am to the organization for all of the work they do. I mean, this is an inspired group of people who have been fighting for years. Many are survivors who know the impact that breast cancer has on not only victims, but the victims' families are all victims in my mind. And honestly, I'm very humbled to receive the award. Everything I do in Lauren's name. She's the inspiration for the work. And why I'm so committed to this, because I want to make sure that families like ours and women and men like Lauren who have to face this deadly disease and know that they have supporters, know that people in their community and their state and their country are going to do everything they can to help this journey be a little less difficult. And what I really hope before my time is done here is that we find a way to eliminate the scourge of breast cancer throughout America and the world.